Humanity has always had a fascination with space exploration. From the early days of the space race to the present, we have achieved incredible feats, such as landing on the moon and sending probes to the far reaches of our solar system. Despite Elon Musk's optimistic view of Mars, likening it to Earth, the reality is far from that. You are watching Into the Unknown, and in today's video, I'll be telling you why colonizing Mars presents a significant problem and the challenges that must be overcome before a successful settlement can be established on the red planet. If humans were to live on Mars, they would need to reside in underground tunnels, illuminated by anti-depression lamps, or rely on UV lights to grow food. The planet's atmosphere is unbreathable, requiring the use of spacesuits at all times. Even the slightest accident could prove fatal in less than a minute. While visiting Mars may be an incredible experience for astronauts, living on the planet permanently is an entirely different story. Mars is not designed for human habitation and has the potential to be deadly. Mars is cold and barren, with an atmosphere about 100 times thinner than Earth's. The limited air on Mars is composed primarily of noxious carbon dioxide, which offers little protection from the sun's harmful rays. The air pressure on Mars is only about 0.6% of that on Earth, adding to the significant challenges of living on the planet. Furthermore, Mars is 1,000 times more distant and inhospitable than the Moon. The journey to Mars is long and dangerous, with radiation exposure being a significant concern for astronauts. The high levels of radiation on Mars could also pose a significant threat to human health. Unlike Earth, Mars doesn't have a protective magnetic field to shield it from the harmful radiation from the Sun. The high levels of radiation on Mars could also pose a significant threat to human health. The absence of a protective magnetic field on Mars makes it highly vulnerable to the harmful radiation from the Sun, which can cause serious health issues for astronauts. Unlike Earth's magnetic field, which helps deflect the majority of the solar wind particles and cosmic radiation, Mars has a much weaker magnetic field. This means that the radiation particles that enter Mars's atmosphere are not redirected, leading to their penetration deep into the surface and ultimately affecting any living organisms present. The thin atmosphere of Mars is another factor that makes it challenging to mitigate radiation exposure. Compared to Earth, Mars's atmosphere is approximately 100 times thinner. As a result, it provides very little protection against cosmic and solar radiation. When astronauts travel to Mars, they are exposed to high radiation levels for extended periods, putting them at risk of developing radiation-related illnesses, including cancer. NASA and other space agencies are actively exploring different approaches to mitigate the effects of radiation on astronauts during their journey to and from Mars. One potential solution is to build habitats that are shielded by layers of soil or other materials. These materials can block some incoming radiation and reduce the amount that penetrates the surface. While this technology has shown promising results in simulations, it is yet to be tested on a large scale. Additionally, the cost of building and transporting these materials to Mars can be prohibitively expensive. Other explored approaches include developing new spacesuits that can provide better protection against radiation and using medication to prevent radiation-induced illnesses. However, these solutions are also still in the experimental stages and require further research and development. Another significant challenge that needs to be addressed in colonizing Mars is the lack of atmosphere on the planet. Compared to Earth, Mars has a very thin atmosphere that cannot protect the planet's surface from the impact of meteoroids and other space debris. Even small objects traveling at high speeds can cause significant damage to structures and equipment on Mars. This poses a serious risk to any potential colonization efforts on the planet. To overcome this challenge, scientists have proposed terraforming Mars as a possible solution. Terraforming is a process of transforming a planet's atmosphere, temperature, and surface to make it more hospitable for humans. The idea behind terraforming Mars is to create a more Earth-like atmosphere that would provide better protection against space debris, as well as create conditions suitable for human habitation. However, terraforming Mars is a complex and long-term process that requires significant investment and technology development. The process involves releasing greenhouse gases, such as carbon dioxide, into the planet's atmosphere to create a greenhouse effect, that would warm the planet's surface. The warming would cause the planet's ice caps to melt, releasing water vapor into the atmosphere and creating clouds that would help to trap heat. Despite the potential benefits of terraforming Mars, it remains a theoretical concept, and there are many questions about its feasibility and long-term effects on the planet's environment. It would require massive resources and could take hundreds if not thousands of years to complete. While there is some water on the planet in the form of scattered ice, extracting and purifying it would be a difficult and resource-intensive task. Without a reliable source of water, any human settlement on Mars would be severely limited, and the survival of future astronauts would be in jeopardy. To address this challenge, NASA has been exploring various ways to produce water on Mars. One promising idea involves extracting water vapor from the soil by heating it and then capturing and purifying the released water. This method, known as in-situ resource utilization, has the potential to provide a sustainable source of water for future missions and settlements on Mars. However, the process of extracting water from the soil presents many technical challenges. For example, the method of heating the soil to release water vapor could damage any potential microbial life on the planet. This could have profound implications for future scientific exploration of Mars. In addition to the challenges of water and atmosphere, the lack of a stable food supply is another significant obstacle to colonizing Mars. Overcoming this obstacle would require addressing the lack of soil and harsh environmental conditions that make it challenging to grow crops on the planet. To tackle these challenges, NASA and other space agencies are exploring various methods of growing food on Mars, such as hydroponics or aeroponics. These approaches do not rely on soil, but use nutrient-rich solutions or mists to grow plants. Such methods could provide a reliable and sustainable food source for future missions and settlements on Mars. It's no secret that humans require a connection with nature to maintain good mental health. Being in an environment devoid of trees, lakes, or animals can lead to feelings of isolation, loneliness, and depression, which is why living on Mars could be a significant psychological hurdle. Despite these challenges, there are still individuals who support space exploration and believe that it is essential for shaping the future of humanity. These bold adventurers who are paving the way for the post-human future deserve our support and encouragement. As Martin Rees wrote in his book, Mars and other space environments are inherently hostile to humans, but we should still support the pioneers who are determined to explore it. These explorers will play a critical role in shaping the 22nd century and beyond, and their efforts could have a profound impact on the course of human history. While the idea of colonizing Mars may seem like a promising endeavor for humanity's future, it is not without its significant challenges and potential problems. The harsh environment, lack of resources, and extreme distance from Earth present significant hurdles that must be overcome before a sustainable human settlement can be established on the red planet. Despite the progress made in recent years, many unknowns and risks are still associated with this ambitious project. Scientists and engineers are working hard to develop solutions to these challenges. But it will likely take many years of research and development before we can confidently say that we are ready to colonize Mars. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Share your thoughts or questions in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to Into the Unknown for more amazing content and ring the bell icon to stay tuned.